SPMP サイドストーリークンネチプ
Previous overview. Kunnecup listened to her mother's story, but the content was too difficult for her to understand. So she looked for what she could do and began practicing prayer every day. My grandmother and I used to pray every day, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't feel the thoughts of the person who was praying. Only time passed, and only impedance piled up more and more. But I think I understand a little bit what my grandmother taught me about what it means to listen quietly. In particular, when I was directly touching the tree and listening to the sound, a low sound reverberated in the palm of my hand. My grandmother told me that it was the sound of running water, and that if you quietly listened to the sound of the trees, you would eventually hear the sound of breathing. It's the first time I've ever felt it. When I asked my grandmother what the phenomenon was when I got home, she replied that trees suck water from the soil, which is the same as people eating food, and trees breathe just like people. In addition, my grandmother taught me that the water flowing under the ground is connected to a long distance, and when it becomes a large tree, it is possible to feel the thoughts of people who are far away because it is directly in contact with the water. But not long ago, when I told her that I felt my ancestors when I put my hand on the ground, Grandma was surprised, and she said that at first she thought it was a misunderstanding because it was something that my grandma and mother could not do. My grandma and mother can connect with their ancestors if the tree is in front of them, but they have to touch the tree directly to feel the thoughts of the person who is praying. So when she found out that my story was true, she said, it was very strange. In addition, my grandmother was surprised that I was able to converse with Tanukamwi, and she patted me on the head, saying that you are loved by many gods. At this time, I was a little happy, but I remembered the events that led me to become friends with Tanu from my grandmother's words. It all started when I heard a strange sound from Tanu in my head. The feeling is the same as it was then. Tanu taught us to feel the sound in our language. It's not about hearing the sound, it's about feeling it. How could I have forgotten such an important thing? I was trying to listen to someone's voice, so it didn't work. When I remember the sensations of the past and feel the sounds, I will surely be able to feel the thoughts. I can do it. Come to think of it, my grandmother used the word feeling many times. Did I cover my ears with my assumptions? Thank you, Grandma Tanu. After that, as I focused on feeling the sound and praying, I began to feel the sound of the water more clearly, and I could feel the breathing of the tree a little. Then I felt a slight change. Until now, when I prayed, I could only see a few sights and people and didn't understand the meaning, but now I can feel it as words, even though what I see is the same. At that time, I was praying while thinking of my sister, but the scenery that came into view was a view of Palakotin from a high place, and from there I could see the sea and mountains in the distance. However, the beautiful scenery was soon covered with clouds and could not be seen. I don't know what that scene means, but I've never seen it so clearly, and I was a little excited about the immediate effect. When I got home, I told my grandma about what I saw, and she complimented me on how amazing it was, but she was a little worried that it was covered with clouds, so she asked me to take a closer look again and tell me more about it. It certainly feels a little uncomfortable to be covered by clouds when the scenery is clear. I may still be in the process of changing, and I can't judge until I see and feel a lot more. First of all, let's not rush and focus only on feeling the sound. Then, a few days later, while I was praying every day, Susa came to Palakotin again to see my parents. Today's story ends. The story is updated every Saturday. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.